Global legislators are considering new legislation in response to the increasing number of people voicing their dissatisfaction with airlines. This is in response to the large number of complaints that have been filed recently. Official data from regulatory agencies shows that complaints against airlines have reached near record levels in countries like Canada and Germany. This is because many travelers are unhappy with the service they receive from airlines. Rising numbers of disputes between travelers and airlines globally are driving fresh legislation and calls for tougher enforcement of existing rules to protect consumers. The sharpening of payouts for airlines could add to pressure on airfares, as rising costs from energy, labor, and other expenses continue to rise. Airlines have seen their payments grow by €331 million in 2022 from €25 million the previous year, according to previously undisclosed figures from Lufthansa. Legislation is under review in Canada while the U.S. government is writing new rules and the European Union is pushing for stronger enforcement of its existing regime. Pressure to act is building as summer travel is expected to break records in some regions this year following long airport lines and piles of backed-up baggage last summer. Airlines fear a mishmash of conflicting rules and want those in charge of services to help shoulder the compensation costs. European airline group Airlines for Europe said that compensation has become increasingly burdensome and existing rules leave too much up to interpretation. It is calling for reform of the legislation in order to make it more clear. While higher fares have helped carriers offset some of the rising costs, it's in the airline's interest to keep passengers happy even if there are disruptions. Aviation analyst James Halstead said that this is an issue airlines are worried about because they don't want passenger wrath directed at them. Lufthansa has said that it does not have a backlog of customer claims and refunds are generally paid within the statutory 7 days that applies to airlines operating in Europe. IATA, the global airline body, called on governments to help avoid fragmented regulations and improve services. Instead of singling out airlines, as recent proposals in Canada and the USA have done, Director General Willie Walsh said. Canada is promoting shared accountability by providing new access to performance data that airlines can use when negotiating service agreements with airports. Transport Minister Omar Al-Ghabra told sources. British Airways says that it tries to resolve cases quickly when complaints are raised. UK law specifies what compensation a passenger is entitled to if there was a delay caused by the airline. Record complaints. The U.S. Department of Transportation, DOT, has proposed new rules that would require airlines to compensate passengers for lengthy delays or cancellations in their control. This comes after 2 successive summers of travel chaos, during which airlines struggled to meet demand. In Britain, county court judgments against airlines piled up to more than £4.5 million, £0.68 million. North of the border, the Canadian Transportation Agency has a backlog of complaints that is growing. Canada is considering charging airlines a fee if they pass on unresolved complaints to the agency. This is in contrast to Europe, where intermediaries like AirHelp have grown in popularity and active claims are 3 times higher than in 2019. Strikes are expected this summer, which could increase the number of claims made. Sharing costs. Airlines have been unwilling to pay for cases that are not their fault, causing frustration among passengers. The European Union has long angered airlines with its comprehensive consumer protection legislation, offering payouts of up to €600 for delays of 3 hours or more. Or cancellations. As a passenger, all you know is that the airline cancelled my flight, said Jeff Morrison, president of the National Airlines Council of Canada. Morrison said that increased costs for air travel in Canada could well result from new fees and compensation requirements imposed by the EU. I want to say a big thank you for your incredible support to the channel. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button to stay connected and join our community of Word events. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments. Your engagement means the world to us. Remember, knowledge is power. Stay informed, stay curious, and keep seeking the truth.